May I have your attention, please? The best ride in Epcot competition is about to begin. Place your predictions now, find your seats, and let's find out together who's taking home the Epcot Ride Champion title today on DFV Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Vlog. Welcome back to our Disney Rides Bracket series. Today we're going to find out which Epcot ride is dominating the competition. We expect a few upsets to happen, so hang tight, bear with, and let's have fun out there, all right? All right. Keep in mind that the ultimate goal of today's showdown is more about showcasing the highlights and pitfalls for each Epcot ride, regardless of which one winds up taking home the gold. And to keep things a little more fair, we'll also be determining who wins each round based on 3 specific categories. How well does the ride tell a story? How hard does the Imagineering go? And how does it factor into Epcot being a must-see vacation destination? Okay, let me switch over into sports announcer mode now. Let the games begin. We're kicking things off with scrappy underdogs who fought their way into the tournament. The fan bases for these squads are small but passionate, and because they come from opposite sides of the park, the competition will be intense. It's Journey into Imagination with Figment versus Grand Fiesta Tour. 2 rides made for all ages, with typically speaking reasonable wait times for each. Definitely a strong combo to start off today's competition. So who's going to be the winner of this race? Journey into Imagination with Figment is an iconic dark ride for Epcot thanks to its original storyline and popular purple dragon mascot that people go line up and wait hours for just to get his exclusive popcorn buckets. But this dark ride has proven to be quite controversial among Disney fans ever since the original Journey into Imagination attraction was changed for the first time back in 2000, and then changed again in 2002 after some major backlash. The 2002 changes were a little bit better, but according to many, this is still a major downgrade compared to the OG Journey into Imagination attraction. Meanwhile, Grand Fiesta Tour, housed inside the Mexico Pavilion, features our favorite feathered trio, Donald, Jose Carioca, and Panchito, in a slow-moving boat ride that takes you past the San Angel restaurant and around the impressive indoor Mayan pyramid for a journey that'll have everyone searching high and low for Donald so he can perform his big show-stopping number alongside his buddies. While Disney fans have been begging for Journey into Imagination updates for years now, Grand Fiesta Tour recently made some significant updates to improve its ride, including new digital screens, a new sound system, and refurbished animatronics. And yeah, we gotta reward hard work when we see it because we appreciate the recent love that's been shown to our virtuoso bird friends. So the winner of the first race, Grand Fiesta Tour, starring the 3 Caballeros. Now this matchup features 2 rides that could not be more different from one another. Biology faces off with astronomy. Who's going to be able to hold their own today between Living with the Land and Mission Space? Will this be the first of many upsets? One is a slow-going boat ride that takes you on a leisurely tour through Epcot's greenhouses, a classic and one of my very favorite rides in all of Walt Disney World. And the other blasts you into space in a simulated mission to Mars, or around the Earth depending on what mission you choose. While the green mission is a lot more tame and takes you around the globe, the orange mission will have you hurtling around meteor showers while you take on extreme G-forces, spinning around and around and around in a tight-fitting space pod. See those vomit bags? They're not just for show and tell. You might very well be using one of these bad boys when all is said and done. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or not, but the Epcot rides moving on in today's competition are not solely decided by me. It's an entire DFB team effort, which makes for some fun workday banter 1000%. But in the case of Living with the Land versus Mission Space, there was no banter. There was a clear-cut winner across the board. Living with the Land has passed this first trial with flying colors. Might not tell as thrilling a tale as Mission Space does, and it might be somewhat dull for those who are looking for more high-speed thrills, but this greenhouse tour instead tells the story of how important Epcot's agricultural work is and why proper farming techniques are so crucial for people to practice as a whole. Now, I know that sounds boring, but it's very important, and what can I say? The whole DFB team loves this ride. Now we've got Spaceship Earth versus the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Spaceship Earth brings exceptional fundamentals to this matchup. Not only is it housed within the park's icon, but it explores the evolution of communication through several scenes worth of animatronics and impressive sets. That being said, the Seas with Nemo and Friends has those recognizable fishy Pixar characters that'll probably appeal to younger audiences way more than like Woz in his garage, right? Now listen, everyone knew the young squad from Nemo came to play, but this one was a bit of a mismatch. Even though Spaceship Earth could definitely use a little TLC like Grand Fiesta Tour received, the Imagineering within that golf ball looking giant sphere is gonna be what secures its spot in the next round. Winner is Spaceship Earth. Okay, we've made it to the end of round 1. I know, it feels quick, especially if you watch the Magic Kingdom bracket video first. There just aren't as many rides in Epcot, but that just means the competition is gonna heat up much faster. If you're invested in doing your own bracket challenge inside Disney World during your next visit, then you're gonna need a game plan that'll help you ride everything across every park. I mean, it's only fair, right? How are you supposed to judge something fairly if you haven't had the chance to ride it recently? So if you're ready to take on this challenge alongside your family, be sure to scan the QR code you see on the screen right now, or click on the link in the description that'll take you over to disneyfoodblog.com/DisneyRides next if you want our free How to Ride Everything guide in Disney World. It's going to be sent straight to your email today. Okay, it's time for round 2. Starting out round 2, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind versus Grand Fiesta Tour. Yep, the big dogs are ready to play. Cosmic Rewind is a newcomer with something to prove, but don't count out the seasoned vet. Grand Fiesta Tour may be old school, but it just might have a few tricks left up its sleeve. Again, we've got 2 very different ride experiences here. A gentle dark ride for all ages versus a high-speed thrill ride with a backwards launch, 360-degree spins, and 80s tunes. During round 1, the gentle boat ride won over the thrill ride, so is that going to be the same case again? Well, let's look at our judging categories to see who's really stealing the show. When it comes to storytelling, there is a conflict resolution within both rides, but the whole saving the universe storyline laid out during the Cosmic Rewind pre-show has higher stakes for us to get invested in. Plus, the pre-shows are awesome. And then there's the Imagineering. Three Caballeros has some impressive prop work and Mary Blair influences, much like you'll find on It's a Small World. And they've got End of the Ride show animatronics too, which Cosmic Rewind is severely missing. That being said, there's no denying how incredibly impressive the ride technology on Cosmic Rewind is. From the teleportation illusion in the pre-show to a brand new coaster concept that somehow incorporates thrills without the track being too rough or intense. I don't think we have to dwell on this head-to-head any further. Cosmic Rewind is wiping the floor with this one. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure versus Soarin' Around the World. In one corner, we've got Remy, small in size, big on charm, darting through kitchens with precision. In the other, the high-flying heavyweight Soarin' Around the World, gliding in with global appeal. It's rodent hustle versus sky-high muscle. Both these players bring a lot to the table, and a deserving competitor is going to go home. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and Soarin' Around the World have some similarities, but not too many. They both use screen technology to make their rides come to life, and neither one is going to have you quaking in your boots by the end of the experience because they're both fairly easygoing, but that's where their similarities come to an end. Remy's ride has you shrinking down to the size of a fellow rodent so that you can scamper through a kitchen out in Paris, much like they do in the Ratatouille film, all while narrowly escaping the clutches of Chef Skinner. But Soarin' Around the World, well, the whole premise is revealed right there in the title. You hop in your ride vehicle and you parasail and fly over different iconic landmarks literally around the world. So if we're basing the winner off plot and plot alone, Remy could technically win right now. But which Epcot ride are people more likely going to make a priority during their park day? Now, my scriptwriter Bria has a lot of big feelings about this one, even though they don't seem to mesh with the majority vote today.
I'm just saying, I don't feel like it's truly a day in Epcot if I haven't ridden Soarin' at least once. Sure, the story might be non-existent, but doesn't Patrick Warburton make up for that? And the tear-jerking musical score? And the fact that you're literally flying over different countries, which is what Epcot's really all about at its core?
Sorry, Bria, but the points do matter and the referee isn't budging. Due to Remy's innovative trackless technology, storyline with popular Pixar friends, and overall a greater use of practical effects along with the scenes, Remy's moves on, but we understand your hurt. Winner, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. All right, Test Track versus Living with the Land. This is tricky, very tricky. And if the outcome of this round matchup gets you riled up, I get it, because it's really hard to have a ride in today's competition that's going through major changes like Test Track is currently experiencing. Like, it's one thing for Big Thunder Mountain to still compete in the Magic Kingdom bracket, because we know that for the most part it's still going to be the wildest ride in the wilderness that we know and love even after those updates are made. But when it comes to the new Test Track, we don't know what to expect from it when it reopens this summer. So we got to do today's judging based on what we experienced before those extended planned test track closures and not based on what we're hoping to see when it's back up and running again. World of Motion. Anyway, Test Track and Living with the Land have less of a story going on. Instead, both rides are more of an experience. But Test Track is more immersive in the way that you're put in charge of customizing your own high-tech car during the pre-show, and then you get to test out your new set of wheels on the track to see how it fares against other racers. Again, I don't know if that immersive aspect is still going to be part of the Test Track 3.0, but there's no denying that creating your own vehicle and taking it for a spin was a bigger pull for guests than hopping on a leisurely boat and looking at lots of plants. And I say that in the most sincere way possible because much like Bria in the last round, I would choose Living with the Land over Test Track in a heartbeat every single time. But we gotta be fair here. So Test Track, go ahead, take the crown, but I'm gonna pout while I hand it over. Living with the Land has a passionate fan base, including me, who are going to be devastated by this outcome, but at the end of the day, Test Track was just too much for the humble boat ride to handle. Sheer speed, flash, and horsepower carried it across the finish line. Okay, Epcot's park icon versus the sister movie icons. Which dark ride is going to pull ahead this time between Spaceship Earth and Frozen Ever After? Spaceship Earth brings legacy and narration and Judi Dench. Frozen Ever After brings songs and sparkles and that backward splash that always catches you off guard. One's a journey through time, the other's a journey into the unknown. Will nostalgia hold the line, or is Arendelle's magic just too powerful to stop? Frozen Ever After tends to be one of the big wigs of the Epcot ride game. It's an experience that you'll want to hit up earlier on in the day, or be sure to snag a lightning lane for it just because it gets so incredibly popular. Kids love it, adults love that their kids love it, and getting to see Elsa do her iconic Let It Go solo is iconic, but there's always a but, isn't there? While both Spaceship Earth and Frozen Ever After use animatronics in each show scene, the projection mapping faces used for Anna, Elsa, and friends feels not nearly as impressive as just a whole animatronic figure, limbs, face, and all, which you see throughout Spaceship Earth. Not to mention, Frozen Ever After's story is, am I allowed to say this? It's a little weak. Like, it's nice to go on an adventure where everything's just sunshine and roses and celebrations, but it feels like we're missing the whole story leading up to the key reason we're celebrating. Yeah, I get it. Go watch the movie, AJ, and you'll be all caught up. Frozen Ever After's got all the tricks, big IP, catchy music, even that surprise backwards drop, but Spaceship Earth is playing a whole different game. You're not just riding through scenes, you're witnessing the evolution of human communication, my friends, complete with the emotional gut punch of the library in Alexandria burning to the ground. One's got spectacle, the other's got soul. Winner, Spaceship Earth. And just like that, we have 4 solid Epcot rides making their way into the semifinals. I'm sitting up a little straighter to record this home stretch because I'm literally on the edge of my seat right now. If your favorite Epcot ride is still in the competition, cross your fingers, cross your toes, hold your breath because things are about to get intense. We are now in the semifinals. Cosmic Rewind versus Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. You knew we'd get here eventually, didn't you? People are saying Remy was lucky to make it out of the first round in a real battle with Soren. So can the rat keep its Cinderella story alive versus the raccoon? Seems like a solid yet somewhat silly pair-off, but the parallel between these two attractions is even better than you might realize. Just because these are the 2 newest rides inside Epcot. Remy's opened back in 2021, Cosmic Rewind in 2022. So who's winning this thing? Great question. Let's start with the queue lines first. Cosmic Rewind's queue gets us wrapped up in the story of the coaster from the get-go. You'll be transported into the wonders of Xandar Pavilion to learn more about this intergalactic culture through sets and models placed throughout the queue, leading up to the big pre-show area where you'll witness the cosmic generator's power and watch it get stolen right under everyone's noses. The queue for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is a bit more simplistic. You still get that cute little area that highlights Gusteau's restaurant, as well as a couple other cute sections here and there, but overall, that indoor queue can feel like a lot of endless winding hallways and some pretty tight corridors. Okay, but let's think about the whole family here once you're actually on the ride. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure has been created for all ages to experience. Meanwhile, you have to be at least 42 inches tall to ride Cosmic Rewind, and you need to have a pretty solid stomach to ride this coaster too. Yep, Remy's can trigger motion sickness with its combined movement and screen technology, but when you're on Cosmic Rewind, you're speeding down a track, spinning 360 degrees, and looking up at the projections going on around you. And those spinning vehicles aren't going to whiz you around so fast that you're going to feel like you're on a Mad Tea Party teacup or anything, but the turning movement alone can be enough to make your mouth fill up with saliva, the dreaded precursor. So wait, are we at an impasse here? Nope. Our team voted on a pretty clear winner for this one. While the spinning of Cosmic Rewind might make some little queasy and the height requirement factor means some of the younger members in your group aren't going to be able to ride just yet, Cosmic Rewind is still a family coaster. It's smooth, it doesn't have any major drops, it's got that randomized, incredible soundtrack that makes you want to ride and re-ride again to get a different song the next time around, and it's been so popular with guests that literally Disney only recently got rid of its virtual queue that helped manage the coaster's demand for the past few years. Remy, you put up a good fight, but right now Cosmic Rewind is an absolute juggernaut who's firing on all cylinders. Can anyone come between this hot rookie and the title? All right, you're rarely going to see a matchup between two such different play styles. On one side, you've got Test Track, sleek, loud, all about speed and simulation. On the other, Spaceship Earth, thoughtful, slow-moving, basically the philosophical core of EPCOT. It's like putting a Formula One racer up against a TED Talk on wheels. Totally different leagues, but somehow they're sharing the same field today. Though there is one thing you can say about both of them, I suppose. Neither one uses an IP to tell its story, but that's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, so it's not going to help us decide today's winner. Test Track has the thrills. It has the choose-your-own-adventure aspect that's more updated than what Spaceship Earth's choose-your-own-future onboard activity provides. It's got an overhaul that's actually taking place instead of just being announced and then shelved indefinitely. Ooh, low blow for Spaceship Earth. If you don't know what I'm talking about, back in 2019, it was announced that Spaceship Earth would be receiving some major refurbishments and a new story, much like Test Track's experiencing as we speak. But after COVID, the Spaceship Earth overhaul was pushed to the back burner and has not been talked about ever since. So with all that being said, I guess the winner of today's round is... Wait, what's this? Spaceship Earth is picking itself back up? Ready for retaliation? When it comes to Spaceship Earth, wait times for this ride tend to be more manageable and less frustrating than what you're going to find at Test Track. That is, unless you're cool with breaking up the family and using the single rider line at Test Track, but even then, shorter wait time isn't necessarily guaranteed. With that shorter wait, you're also getting a really long ride through for Spaceship Earth, clocking in at 15 minutes. And the whole time you're on the ride, you're seeing Disney Imagineering at its finest. Look, if you were to flip on the lights for both Test Track and Spaceship Earth, Test Track in its past form isn't going to be all that impressive, but Spaceship Earth is still going to make you go wow because it's filled with so much detail, from the settings to the animatronics to the sets and the ride system itself. Not to mention, because of Test Track's outdoor track, one little spark of lightning is going to shut the whole thing down, and do so for a good long while. But Spaceship Earth's going to keep on running, rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Well, as long as it doesn't come across any technical difficulties that day, but both Test Track from the past and Spaceship Earth tend to struggle in that regard. And it doesn't hurt any that Spaceship Earth is housed inside the icon of the park. You may not take a picture outside of Test Track, but I bet my bottom dollar you're going to take loads of pictures outside of Spaceship Earth. All right, just when we thought Spaceship Earth was out of the competition, it comes back punching. Way to go, Spaceship Earth. It's off to the finals for you. Ooh, we've made it to the finals. Cosmic Rewind versus Spaceship Earth. It all comes down to this. It's space against space, new against classic, thrill ride against dark ride. While both of these attractions feel like winners in my book, there can only be one ultimate winner of today's competition, the best ride in Epcot. So let's look at the facts. Cosmic Rewind is the first ever Disney World ride to feature characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. While exploring the evolution of communication throughout Spaceship Earth is fascinating, the thrill of teaming up alongside the Guardians is going to get your adrenaline pumping and keep the excitement for this one building until that thrilling moment of launching backwards and having your randomized song revealed. Plus, they're just funny. I laugh really hard in this ride, even if I've been on it a million times. Now, both Spaceship Earth and Cosmic Rewind are nothing short of impressive rides that you're not going to want to miss out on, but considering the fact that Cosmic's show building can actually hold two full-size Spaceship Earths just proves how massive this coaster really is, and how much Imagineering had to go into not only filling that space, but claiming its title as one of the biggest indoor coasters in the world. Spaceship Earth does a good job of keeping passengers engaged and part of the story, even going so far as to have you create your own future at the tail end of this ride. But the way that Cosmic Rewind is scripted, you become a key element in whether or not the Guardians are going to pull off this mission, making the overall immersion of this ride more impactful. In a shocking turn of events, it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind has become the best ride in Epcot. Now, Groot was supposed to pick up the trophy for his team, but he was unable to make it due to saving the world and stuff, but he asked me to say this on his behalf. I am Groot. Now, if you didn't get a chance to watch the Best Rides in Magic Kingdom bracket, go ahead and check it out now. And don't forget to pick up our free DFB guide that'll help you ride every ride in Disney World over at disneyfoodblog.com/DisneyRides. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. This has been such a fun one to do. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.